I remember a time where our biggest fear as a human race was aliens. I remember a time where we used to shriek at the idea of a foreign invader or a foreign species coming into our planet, absconding with our resources, and turning humans into glorified pets. Conspiracy theorists, and TV shows alike consistently reimagine the idea of a future where humans weren't the top species on planet Earth, where a foreign species took over and now we serve them and now they get to harm us and treat us the way they want to. Sarah Gibbons has this idea that our planet is in need of a dire change. This change, as simple as it may sound, is a food change. She believes that our food system will be the key to saving our planet. I'm qualified to talk about this because I've taken many environmental science classes in my high school career. And I did that mainly to get an understanding of what was going on in the environment or in the world. But I think most importantly, what I got from that was the knowledge of what to do and how to better our environment person by person. I think that it gave me the ability to influence my colleagues, my peers, or even my superiors to help chip in and to crack this issue. Today I'll be going over what the issue is, and then I will give you guys my solution to the issue. Then I will call you guys to action. So to begin, meat consumption is the problem. PETA says that as much meat as we produce on agricultural soil or agricultural land, the soil and the precious soil and the precious water is run off, is poisoned, it's destroyed. The soil is destroyed, the land is destroyed. It's widely accepted that greenhouse gases mainly come from agriculture, mainly come from cultivating these cows and turning them into beef. A lot of the water that we're losing, a lot of the climate change that's going on comes directly and solely from meat. And this is driven by our meat consumption. The world population is 7.7 billion. We consume on average 8.2 metric tons of meat per year in the United States. So if the world population increases, our meat consumption increases. So as our meat consumption increases, the damage we're doing to our planet also increases. So it's simple math, or it's a simple equation to say that if we decrease our meat consumption, and if we transition to better dieting and better eating, that we can slow down the effects of climate change. We can enhance our water quality. We can enhance our air quality. Idaho is one of the largest exporters of beef. Idaho ranks in the top 20 in beef exportation nearly every year. With that being said, I think that us in Idaho as a group can help solve this problem, especially with Idaho being a number one or a top 20 perpetrator in this matter. I propose that we cut out the meat in our diet. Now, as radical as it may sound, this will amazingly change the way our earth is being run, or change the landscape of things in the way that we've been hurting our planet. My major thing about cutting out the meat is that you don't have to completely cut it out of your diet. One of the objections that I got was that, it's a part of the Western, culture that we eat meat, or it's a part of the keto diet that we eat meat, or our bodies are used to it and we need the protein, which is all fine, and I can understand that wholeheartedly. But what I say is, if it's really that big of an issue, if it's really that big of a deal, just cut it out weeks at a time. I propose that we can try to cut it out at least 1 week out of every month and continue to progress and gradually get better with it from there. This can have tremendous effects on, like I said, our air quality, our air purity, how good our water is, the quality of the ocean, because the greenhouse gases isn't the only issue. We have agricultural farming and stuff like this going on. Runoff goes into the water and it creates dead zones, and that's another issue that we have with agriculture. And I think that if we can't completely remove it out of our diet, if that's such a big problem, then we can start with baby steps. We can start one by one, day by day, just continuing to try to eliminate portions and to go toward more organic vegetables or organic fruits and things of that nature to kind of slow what's happening down. Another major objection, or to counter the major objection, is if you can't, for whatever reason, if you just can't stop eating beef, you can't stop eating meat, I think that something that's just as helpful is you going out and you telling people the benefits of you stopping eating meat, or cutting it out days at a time or weeks at a time. I think that that's just as helpful, and that can be just as influential as you doing it yourself. So now that I've explored that, I want to take you to two very possible but alternate futures. So we're going to start with the negative one. Let's say that you don't listen to anything I'm saying. Terron, I can't do it. Or Terron, I don't believe it. Terron, I don't understand it. Let's say whatever that is, whatever the case may be. Our water issue will continue to be bad. For every cow that's used to make beef or to make meat, over 300 gallons of water is being used to one cow. So just imagine if it's 200 cows on a farm, or if it's 2,000 cows on a farm. Our water will continue to go, and our quality of our water will continue to deplete. And let's say that, Terron, I don't want to do it, and you just adamant about it, right? And you continue to eat meat. Then the need for meat and the need for people to produce meat will continue to increase. And as this increases, the damage that we're doing to our planet will also increase. And eventually we won't have a planet to inhabit. We won't have anywhere to stay. We won't have anywhere to eat, because climate change will spiral out of control. We will not be able to drink our water anymore. We will not be able to breathe anymore. Our oceans will be ugly and black and things of that nature, and poison. Now let's go to a more positive future. Let's say you do listen to what I say. To start off, we'll save hundreds of thousands of gallons of water just by cutting it out for a week. So if you cut meat out of your diet for 1 week, you will save more water than if you didn't shower for 6 months. I know that's a very staggering stat, but that's the truth of the matter. That's what the reality of the situation is. If we can cut meat out of our diet for just 1 week, our air quality will be tremendous. We can halt the effects of climate change. If we can save 75% of the land used to make beef and plant trees, then we can hold a lot of carbon in, and then that'll help us in our fight against climate change. So, in summation, I've told you guys the issue. I told you guys the problem with eating beef. And like I said, if you guys can't completely remove it out of your diet, if you guys can't, stick to it and be strict about it, tell somebody. Go out and post it. Go out and tell your friends or your neighbors, somebody who can control their meat consumption, and tell them, the benefits, and tell them the risks if they don't. And so what I would like you guys to do is, the next time you go purchase some beef, next time you go purchase any meat, just think about what that purchase does to the environment. One person does matter. And one person at a time, we can halt the effects of climate change, air pollution, and water pollution, and we can get better. Thank you.